continue from number 6. So ensure you watch this video to the end and subscribe to this channel so as to get notification to every of our videos. In this class, we'll start at number 6. The number 6 question says, solve log x base 3 plus log x minus 8 base 3 equals to 2. This question is on log reading. So I say this question to test the student's understanding of log reading. Applying the law of log reading here. When two logs have the same base and they added up together, so this can be summarized to just a log, that is log to base 3 of these two terms now multiply, that's x multiplied by x minus 8, then equals to 2. So what you add there is the law, one of the law of log reading. Addition here becomes product when it is written as just one log. Then there is another law that we can change a number in logarithm form to the number in indices form, index form. So when we change this one now from logarithm form to index form, the base here will be raised to power 2. So we now have equals to this, so that x into x minus 8 equals to 3 squared. So the base raised to this power. The base raised to that power. So it's one of the law of logarithm. Now when we expand, we have x squared minus 8x equals to 3 squared, that's 9. So use this one to form a quadratic equation. Then we solve. So when we bring 9 here, that's x squared minus 8x minus 9 plus x minus 9 equals 0. So from here now, without wasting your time, because you are solving OBD, since you know that the factor is minus 9 and plus 1, so what the answer will be is s equals to 9 or s equals to minus 1. Why? Because the factors are minus 9 and plus 1. So definitely when we equal to 0 and we solve, that means s equals to 9 and s equals to minus 1. So from the option there, the correct option there is s equals to 9, which is option D in number 6. So that's option D in number 6. Then number 7 of the WAEC question. The question says, Mr. Money is 4 times as old as his son. So in mathematics, if you see this question, that's what problem leading to an equation there. So Mr. Money is 4 times as old as his son. Now you can use the first letter of your name, Mr. Money, N, is 4 times as old as his son, equals to 4 times old as the son, means 4 times the age of his son, and the name of his son is Adu. So we can say Mr. Manu is 4 times the age of his son, which is 4 times A, which is 4A. So that statement there is interpreted as that. Then 7 years ago, that means ago, that's a subtraction there. 7 years ago, the sum of their ages was 76 years. So first thing is that we get the age of Mr. Manu 7 years ago, and we get the age of his son Adu 7 years ago. You agree with me that 7 years ago, Mr. Manu's age will be m minus 7, because we subtract 7 from his age. This is Mr. Manu's age 7 years ago, and also 7 years ago, the age of his son will be 8 minus 7. The question that says the sum of their ages was 76 years in 7 years ago. So when we add this together, that of Mr. Manu and his son's age, that's 8 minus 7, add it together, the question says that's 76 years. 76 years. forget that m has been given as 4a, so I can write this as 4a instead of m here. Then that will be 4a minus 7 plus a minus 7 equals to 76. So by the time we solve this now, 4a plus a, 4a plus a, that's 5a. Then minus 7 minus 7, that's minus 14. Then equals to 76. So by the time you collect the like terms, that's 5a equals to 76 plus 14 there. That gives us 90. So when you solve that now, you divide both sides by 5 in that part, and 90 divided by 5, that gives us 18 there. So therefore, the question says, how old is Adu? And thank God we find Adu directly here, which is standing for A. So Adu age is 18 years. Correct option here is option C. In number 7. Then number 8 of the WAEC question says, factorize completely s squared minus into bracket y plus z squared. We factorize completely. Immediately you see this kind of question, you believe with me that this is factorization of difference of two squared. And when you factorize difference of two squared, or the form x squared minus y squared, so the factorization of this one will be x plus y times x minus y. So this is the format for factorization of difference of two squared. So if we apply this now to this particular question now, this is standing as the first thing, this is standing as the second thing. So that will be the first plus the second times. So automatically we have two brackets multiplying each other. Two brackets multiplying each other. So the first bracket is the addition of the two things. So that's x plus y plus z. Then the second bracket is the subtraction of the two things. So here now, you should be careful here because you are subtracting. That's x minus into bracket y plus z. So the reason why is that this minus will affect these two numbers. Then by the time you solve it, you have your x plus y plus z into bracket your x minus y minus z here now. So we want to factorize completely here. So when you look at this, you can't add x to y. No, you can't add it to z. The same thing here, you can't subtract y from x, you can't subtract z from y. Then you look into the option there, you see that the correct option for number 8 question is option B. That looks exactly like this. So the correct option there is option B. What I want to test in this question is the application of difference of two squares. Number 9. The question says, find the roots of quadratic equation. They gave us the quadratic equation 3m squared minus 2m minus 65 equals 0. You find the roots. We have 4 methods thereabout of solving a quadratic equation. We are using factorization method. Factorization method, we can factorize. We have completing the square method. We have completing the square method. We have formula method itself. And we have graphical method. Now, when you see this kind of question in OBJ, of course, if factorization method can work, you use it directly. And if you know that you are good in the formula method, you substitute the formula and use that. But here in this question now, we can factorize. The method you use to factorize this kind of question, you multiply the first and the last thing. And here now, when you multiply 3m squared times minus 65, that will give us minus 195 m squared. So now the next step now is to break this down. into two factors such that the addition of the two factors will give us the number in the middle here, minus 2. So when you look into that, very well, you discover that the two factors will be minus 15n plus 13n. So we multiplying minus 15 plus 13 will give us minus 185, and we adding it together will give us minus 2n. And by the time we substitute these two times now, we now replace the number at the middle. This is the method of factorization now. We replace the number at the middle here with these two numbers. So we now have 3m squared minus 15m plus 13m minus 65 equals 0. So by the time you have replaced the middle one with these two numbers, then you factorize you pair it 2 and you factorize what is common. In these two now, 3m squared minus 15m, what is common between the two is 3m out, remain m here, then minus, what remain here is 5, then plus, what is common here is 13, remain m inside, then minus 5, then equals 0. Now, we have two brackets the same, we can factor that bracket out as well, and we have m minus 5, then what is left? That's 3m plus 13, then equals 0. These two brackets is equals to 0. Is either one of them is equals to 0. m minus 5 equals to 0, or 3m plus 13 equals to 0. So by the time you solve this, that means minus 5 comes here. That's m equals to 5, or m equals to minus 13 over 3. So here now, so in this question now is two direct joined together now. So m varies jointly as the square of n. That's m varies as the square of n and the square root of q. You see, they didn't say and inversely. So they said and the square root of, so that's square root of q there. So when you now remove the sign of proportionality, you have m equals to, you introduce a constant, that's k n squared root q now. The question says if n is 20. So this k, which is a constant, will be replaced by the equation 1. So as to get the law connecting m, n, and q, or sometimes they call it the relationship, or they call it the law of the variation. So by the time we replace it back now, we now have m equals to k, which is 3 now. We are not writing k in. That's 3 m squared root q. So this formula now is what is called the law of the variation. Now, you now use this one to solve the question they asked. They said find m when n is 5. Find m when n is 5. So n equals to 5. Then q equals to 9. So just substitute back here so as to get your m there. And by the time we substitute back, so our m here will now be equals to 3 multiplied by n squared, that's times 5 squared, then times root q, that's root 9. So by the time you do that, that's 3 times 5 squared, that's 25, then root 9, that's 3. So by the time you multiply that, 3 times 25 times 3. So the answer gives us 225. That is our option D for number 10. So this is number 10. Do well to subscribe to this channel so as to be able to continue with us from number 11 in the next class. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.